hours to give a token of appreciation to our authors and moderators. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello everyone. So I'm your host and host for this session, and I'm moderating it. And the session, as I already told, the theme is literature and philosophy. But please don't think that this is going to be a boring session just because we have the term philosophy. So here we have two very eminent authors today, and if I can say, it's time to introduce them. And let me be a gentleman here, and we'll go ladies first. So Dr. Neetika Modi is a renowned dentist and author, certified from the Royal College of General Practitioners. She is also a philanthropist. A Vedanta scholar and recipient of Nari Samman Puraskar. Her latest book, Antim, The Last Avatar, is an ultimate battle of good versus evil and right versus wrong. On the other hand, we have here Mr. Viveck Rai Marwah, who is an alumni of one of the country's premier institutes, the India School. He wrote a book in 2004, I guess, called The Passes to Life, and it dealt with life and death. Now here's the more interesting part. Mr. Marwah in the last 15 years has encountered several mistakes and developed a keen interest in philosophy and religion. This took him all the way to Tibet, where he delved into Buddhist philosophy, and this book, The Mind Traveler, is an intriguing story, but at the same time it is also philosophically rich, as it is an amalgamation of all these years of learning and experiences. Well, now before we begin, I would like to say something. Being an author myself, and on that note, I would like to begin my first question, and it is for Mr. Manu. So, sir, how did you delve into Buddhist philosophy, and how has it enriched your personal life? Also, since you work in the corporate world, has your philosophy been at odds with the professional life at all?
Well, thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Anta, for giving me this opportunity to be here and addressing you. Coming back, and of course, having Neetika sitting here with all that she's achieved till now. So coming back to your question, I'll go back to what the book actually talks about. So this book primarily talks about struggle and how struggle knows and defines your character. Now, how it affects and what kind of influence the book has had in terms of my personal life, in terms of the work I do, can be conceptualized in that one word, struggle. So whether it is my time spent in boarding school, where everything started with a struggle. Morning time, 5:30, get up, meeting all kinds of people, following that very strict routine, no parents around to spoon feed you, and you were pretty much on your own to do everything. So I guess struggle starts from there, and it takes you, when you come out of school and college and then you start working, so that bit of struggle always continues. And it's about how you manage that struggle that happens. And of course, struggle takes a very different form when it becomes mental. And again, it's about overcoming, in fact, superseding struggle. It's given me that sense that whatever happens, one needs to carry on, one needs to move on. The moment you, like you say, if you drop your sword, you would be taken over, you would be defeated. So never drop your sword and keep fighting whatever comes your way. And that's what the book talks about. I'll talk about it a bit more once the question goes on. So I guess that answers your question.
Sir, your book deals with with Tibetan folklore, philosophy, and everything, right? So I, as a layman, I don't know anything about it. So I believe even in the audience, most of us do not know much about the Tibetan philosophy. So could you please share some light on it and also, correlate it with your book?
Sure. Again, I'd like to add something about Neetika said about the Guru Shishya tradition. The very important point that she made is that when you're ready, you will find him. When I use the word him, it means the master or your mentor or whatever you may call it. So there's this one part in the book when it starts is that, like I said, this young boy's village is destroyed. His family is being killed. And he's running away to save himself from the Mongol invaders. And he finds a cave shelter. And he comes inside and he's resting there. A couple of hours later, the master, who is known as Cannonbeam in this book, he enters. And he looks at them. And he's perplexed, in fact shocked. Not shocked that there is an intruder, but shocked that how come a simple boy, a layman, could find his place of meditation. So the thing about these scholars are, and it's still true in the Himalayan confines, is that the ordinary eye cannot see this extraordinary place and where it exists. And that's how these very extraordinary people keep themselves away from normal sight. So the first question that comes into the monk's mind is that how come this boy could even find this place? And then suddenly a realization was that there is something more that has got him here. That he's able to sense the dynamics and, like Neetika said, the vibration, the high vibration which drew him here. So that changes his mindset from being apprehensive, looking at the intruder, to the fact that something is beginning to happen. So, coming back to Tibetan philosophy. Well, this is Buddhist philosophy, which is very paramount in Tibet. And the Kangyur texts, which are the spoken words of the Buddha, they have, say, about 100 sutras. So I have picked up one sutra, which is known as the Kal Chakra Sutra. Now, Kal Chakra is a polysemic term. It actually means the wheel of time. And the Kal Chakra has a lot to do with destiny. So, in short, when you say Kal Chakra, it links a mythic reality between the cosmos, cosmic events, and socio-historical events on Earth. So when we look back at our Vedic traditions, we find that astrology plays a huge role, and this is what the Kal Chakra is. Now, Buddhism, the Kangyur texts, are the spoken verses of the Buddha. This is all a very Vedic and Indic religion. So what you have in Tibet is a Vedic religion. It's not an offshoot, but a pure form of Buddhism. Like I said, the Kangyur texts are the spoken words of the Buddha. And the Kal Chakra Sutra also has a lot of tantric variations, which I have, turned into a story in the book.
So yeah, in that way, everything is so well interconnected, everything is so well planned. Sometimes, being a mythological author, people ask me, that I cannot understand God, I cannot understand how the universe works. I just give them one answer, if I could understand how the universe works, I would be God myself. It's always going to be cryptic. Now, coming back to Sir, my next question to you will be on the student-master relationship, which forms a very core concept of your book. And at the same time, coincidentally, your one of the first events of the book happened at your alma mater, right? And I saw many Facebook posts and all, the students really loved it. So do you think that many young students even today, they are taking keen interest into spirituality, mythology, and how do you see the future?
At the start, again on the note where Neetika left, it's very difficult to identify these people who are among us. So let me take you back to Marvel Studios. Superman is always disguised as a journalist. So they never followed Vedic philosophy. But certain things which get connected on a certain level. They wanted to make a superhuman being, but they had to hide his identity in terms of being a reporter. You made a point that there is this doubt that plays your mind. God is there. Where is he? So मैं छोटा शेर बोलूँ. हर ज़र्रा चमकता है अनवर इलाही से. हर सांस ये कहती है कि अगर मैं हूँ तो फरारी है.
Amazing. Can you have a round of applause for this?
And the third point about my animator, what I started with is that the book talks about struggle, how it molds and defines character. It talks about the quintessential quest for life, mastery over the self, and untangling the perplexity of destiny. So all these three different points probably they struck a chord with the boys in school. Coming back to the struggle part, like I said, that struggle in a boarding school, if you've been to boarding school and spent time there, you will realize that the moment you're out of the house, that cover or that kavach of being protected is lost. So you are in an open background. You might be Amitabh Bachchan in your home, but you will end up as Shatrughan Sinha in the boarding school. So you're not going to be the same guy. So that's where the struggle begins. What you think you are at your home and what you actually are in that open environment. So that's where the struggle begins. And probably this part went off with the boys there. And of course, I realized that when you're in school, you're always talking about the future and what that future holds for you. So this part that the book talks about destiny. So, I'd just like to make a point that a lot of people feel that destiny is something which is preordained. That destiny is something that I will be reaching there. I feel that destiny is no preordained, superimposed reality, but a metamorphosis of beings determined by a set of choices across various intervals in time. So in short, the choices that you make today will define your future. So the key word from struggle to the boys in school was the choices that you make today. It can be as small as not smoking, being away from drugs, having a healthy lifestyle, concentrating on studies. So all those small actions that you take will actually determine what you are going to be in the future. So that's the second part.
ये सारी बिक चुकी है बिकने के लिए
ये बिक चुकी है
मैं ले आऊँ
आप ले आ सकते
ले आऊँगा मैं सोचा एडवांस में
कोड है ना माइंड कैमरा
ये टोटल बताना प्लीज
1570 डिस्काउंट के बाद आपका 1256
Yes, absolutely. Look forward.
इसको कम कर
Yes, we will.
बेटा फटाफट जाओ बेटा कितने बॉक्स लाए 856